This is why you have each other. You play for each other. So if I push up, the midfield slots in. Like, come on. Please, Mark. Please, Rio. Get to somebody. Please.
He's begging there. Usain's he's like many Man United fans around the world. You know, in fact, football fans around the world. Yes, guys, we are back with another episode of Rio Presents, brought to you by Crafted Guys. Listen, Steve Howson and Joel Beya are in the house as usual, man. How you doing, guys?
I'm all right. How are you?
Yeah, man. Joel's been better, but he looks happy.
Yeah,
happy as he can be. You're right, Joel.
That City Liverpool game yesterday, and guys, I have to be honest with you, man. 4 points at the top has never felt so uncomfortable in my life, but we'll get onto that later. So, I've been seeing you here, there, and everywhere, Rio. Just wanted to know, when you're back in London, are we going to get back in the studio together?
Of course we are, man. Of course we are. But you know what? I'm going to be in London. I've got a couple of things going on, man. On the 14th of November, you might not have seen, obviously not with you guys, but I'm going to be judging a panel of Alibaba's Co-Create pitch, and also like a panel discussion to share like my business tips for European entrepreneurs. This is one of the best opportunities to elevate your business. I'll be judging businesses like they do on Dragon's Den, a little bit similar, a little bit more low level, but it's a phenomenal thing to give people an opportunity. And I'm looking forward to seeing the 30 finalists on the day and who will win their share of the $400,000, by the way. $400,000 I'm talking about in front of myself. And there's a couple of other star guests there as well, so who are judging. So yeah, it's going to be a good day out. I'm really looking forward to it. And it's something that's close to my heart, entrepreneurism. That's what I do. I'm an entrepreneur. I love getting involved in different businesses, and this sings to that massively.
What kind of dragon are you going to be, Ria?
Open and honest and direct.
Oh, mate, I would love to see you on Dragon's Den because you get so giddy about stuff. You'd be in on everything.
Yeah, you would, didn't it?
I wouldn't have no money left. I'd be, get me involved in that, please. The only thing I'm a mad haggler about is the percentage of equity that I think I deserve.
Yeah.
I'll be going hard on that. But no, man, I'm just looking forward to seeing, like, you know what it is? I've learned over the years, I've invested in a lot of stuff, especially in the tech world. And at the beginning, I used to get really kind of giddy about, like, the idea. Oh, that sounds amazing. It looks brilliant. The idea is not really ever the thing that makes it. You need the right people behind it who's pushing it and driving it. You've got to invest in them people.
Two things. What was the biggest win? Doesn't have to be financial. It can just be like, that was the biggest success because of the impact or whatever, and the biggest loss. Talk to me about them. I want to see the wins and the loss. What was a big mistake and what was a big win?
A loss was listening to a financial advisor, and I invested in property. Lost a hell of a lot of money.
How'd you do that on property? I thought no one loses on property.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they tell you online, mate. Social media today makes everyone believe that property or any investment is unreal. The wins, probably property again. Property that I've invested in some, even the building I invested in where you are, Joel, now.
Yeah.
That's been a great investment. Loads of different property things. But also tech. I've invested in a hell of a lot of tech things over the years, and most of them haven't been the fruitful return that you all like desire. But in tech, it's a little bit different. That if you get one or two that do really well, it takes care of all the bad beats that you've had.
I thought you was going to say, Rio, that the best investment was just basically invested in yourself. Because if you look at the platform, for example, this Rio Ferdinand Presents, what a hell of an investment over the last few years, right? You've even got like top people now paying attention to it, celebrities, just because of the promises that you made earlier last year.
I promised when I stepped away from TNT that I'm going to take this channel to the next level. I think we have with the content and the consistency, and you guys being a big part of that as well. But also, when you're getting people like Usain Bolt, who's a massive fan of Man United, coming on leaving voice notes, not on my page, on the channel's page. And he's venting his frustrations about Ruben Amorim and some of the players after the draw this weekend. I think we should play it and take a listen. This is the first time I'm hearing it, by the way, because you guys won't let me hear it. You want to see my natural reaction.
Yeah, here you go.
Rio, you're saying here, I just watched the United game. One of our biggest problems, bro, it's when we invite pressure to ourselves. Because a while ago, the goal that we scored, they scored against us, that first goal. Euro came out The guy's back is turned. Instead of him pressing him so he could pass the ball back, he just turned and ran back into defense. They're always running back. All we do is invite pressure. Please, I'm begging you, man. Please get to the team and say something. You are one of the greatest Manchester United defender we had. Please, bro. It's stressing me out. And I know you have nothing to do with this, but tell the guys to pass the ball quicker. They pass the ball like oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm venting to you, bro. They don't know how to defend one-on-one. Shaw is the only one that seems like he understands. All they know is system. Line up and play well. That's all they know. They don't know to step up, push the defender, let him pass the ball back down, and then you go back into your line. This is why you have each other. You play for each other. So if I push up, the midfield slots in. Like, come on. Please, Mark. Please, Rio. Get to somebody. Please.
He's begging there. Usain's he's like many Man United fans around the world. You know, in fact, football fans around the world, they want their team to do better. They want certain players to do better. I think he's got a couple of points there, but I think he's the only one I really back him on is the passing the ball quicker. I saw Ruben Amorim talk about it the other day. He wants the defenders especially to pass the ball around quicker, recycling it quicker, be a bit more assertive. I agree on that at times. The jumping out defensively, Luke Shaw does it, yeah, but I think our best one who's done it this year is Delit. Delit has been the one who's jumped out, and we talked about this earlier in the season, Steve, about players knowing the right time. I think Delit has been really good at it. I think he's shown the way the manager wants him to do it. I think he's been aggressive. I think he's been on the front foot. Listen, there was times in the game against Spurs where it didn't work and it wasn't working as a cohesive unit. I get that. But it's going to happen. Again, we're still in this rebuilding phase, and I think that's what we've got to manage the expectations of the fans. I think I've seen some people going off on one, like going crazy that the manager ruined it with the substitutions. Yeah, listen, he might have made a couple of mistakes, substitutions, but if he didn't make any substitutions and we still got the result, right, everyone's going, why didn't he change it? Why didn't he change it? Like, he's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't sometimes. And I think, listen, Slot won the league last year, went to City this year, got it completely wrong on the day. It does happen.
You got Mikel Howson over here, who his personal team scoring and winning games from set pieces now as well.
I saw that as well.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that more slowly. But being more pragmatic, Steve, would you agree? Do you reckon that Amorim has to be more pragmatic? Do you agree with Usain Bolt?
I think he's asking for the defence to press, and I actually think that the best thing that we've done in the last month or so,
not press.
Yeah, is actually get into position and get players behind the ball. I watched that first goal a good few times because I was thinking, how has this been allowed to happen? And I actually don't think we did anything technically wrong for their first goal. I just think it's been an unbelievable first touch and an unbelievable turn and finish. And then Delikt's got a knock on it and it's took it past the keeper. And you think, sometimes that just happens. So, yeah, I understand some of the stuff he's saying, and I totally agree about the speed of passing. And I would even argue that I agree with the substitution thing. I think we probably made too many subs.
You texted me at the time, didn't you?
Yeah.
About the subs.
Yeah, I think Casemiro had to come off. That was the right call. Mazraoui probably still needs a bit of match fitness because he's not played in a while. That was the right call. But did we need to take Doku off? Doku was just involved in everything. He was dueling like a madman. The Brighton game shown us this, and the Spurs game shown us this. You make all those subs and you've conceded 2 goals. That's not a coincidence when it's happened twice. You know, it's too many subs at too quicker interval, or that supporting cast just is not good enough at the moment.
Just to go back to one of Usain's points about passing, it's funny, Ruben Amorim said something quite interesting after the game. I said, here's his quote, I think this is about Delit, I think he has more quality on the ball than he's showing because he's still at a point where he doesn't want to make a mistake with the ball. When we reach a very good point, our 3 centre-backs will control the tempo and the quality of the game. It's a real kind of statement of intent of where he's looking to go with his team. The back 3 absolutely dictating with the ball, around the pace of passing, the pace of the game, and controlling things in terms of build up in the whole game. and building from there. That's so different to when I was a player. Centre-backs never had the ball like that. We were the players that were getting it and giving it to the better players and the better passers, the people that were better on the ball with more imagination. Do you know what I mean? I'm looking to find Scholesy, Carrick, Ryan Giggs on the wing, or Bex or Cristiano, or if I can slip it over or through to the number 10, Rooney, that's my job done. I'm delighted with that. Whereas now it's like, we'll control, we'll probe. When we see an opening as centre-backs, then we'll play forward and then we'll get the game moving and we'll up the tempo. That was never the case with us, really. It was just so the ask of a centre-back in today's game is so different.
Is this the sort of stuff we was touching on? And when we spoke to the manager in New York, that's the thing I was trying to get out of him, is like, we've taken a player from midfield and added it to defence. What's the specific role are we looking for? Has he just answered that question there? He's looking for a playmaker in defence. Maybe two.
I don't think.
Maybe
I don't think
to the wide centre halves is where you get that extra playmaking ability from.
Have we got a Van Dijk who can control it like that? I think when you saw Delit as a kid, he looked like he could become that commanding ball playing centre half who can control things and whatnot. But I think he's growing, like the manager said. He's at the moment. This is what I said a few weeks ago, even last season. We've got players that are just hoping they don't make mistakes right now. Don't want to be the one to make a mistake. Just getting through solid. I'm controlling what I can control. That's me and my game before I look at anything else. And once they get through that, which is confidence and momentum and more results, good results, that will come where they start thinking, I can take care of other people. I can take a few more risks. If it goes out of play, who cares? Right now, I still think they're in that other zone I was talking about before.
It's funny how you say that the centre-backs have to be able to play ball, man, because opposition teams can smell it if someone can't. Referring to the game yesterday, City versus Liverpool, you can see how Konate was left on the ball with no pressure because they know he's not the one that's going to be splitting the passes like Virgil van Dijk. He's the weakest in possession, and then they just exploit it.
I think it's cycles, isn't it? I think that Trent and Andy Robertson were, for a couple of years, the most touches on the ball you'd see. And in the last couple of years, it's mainly defenders, especially like the Van Dijks, even Dunk at Brighton, massive amounts of touches. But like you say, Rodri, I think at City, when they were dominating, he was the one it was all going through. I think it depends on its cycles, but also what the teams require. And I look at it in my time, the requirement of a centre-back was get on it and just play quick around the back four and until there's a moment where you can go forward. Play a couple that don't go overplay and then play it into. I was probably the first one who was actually taking a few risks on the ball. I love the pass over the press into the number 10. If they were pressing us high and then I could see Wayne Rooney just drop off into the number 10 position, that was my best thing. Or Giggsy coming off the line into that half space as well between midfielders and defence, and I could clip it over it. That was my favourite pass. Or might give it the eyes to the fullback and play it through the lines. I don't remember there's many in my time we were doing that. I was one of the probably first ones to consistently try and do that. But also having the confidence of a manager to do that. You've got to remember, a lot of the managers back in the day was like, listen, I want you centre-halves, head it, clear it, play back to front. But in today's game, if you're a centre-back in today's game and you can't pass the ball, and do you know what they're what the main thing is? My two boys, they play in the academies, and in Brighton are massive on this. The centre-half's job is to invite the press. Your job is to invite not just keep playing the ball from side to side for no reason. Sometimes stand on the ball, stay on the ball, and say to their players, right, come on to me. And you see it with the first team, but you see it in the Premier League. Van Dijk does it loads. Come on, as soon as someone jumps out of their shape and comes to press him, he'll play it round one to the other, then someone's free in midfield or somewhere else. City done that massively, really well, in tight areas especially, to Liverpool yesterday. Go on, come and press us, and we'll pop it out of there, and then we'll find the spare man in open grass who can hurt you. And they've done that loads yesterday.
Bearing all that in mind, Rio, who is United's most important player right now?
I don't think it's one man. Steve, I like that little smile, and I think you probably agree with me. It can't be down to one man. I think Delit's been our best defender this season. I think he's been outstanding for us. He's even adding goals like the equaliser last-minute goal the other day. But I think in terms of his press, he's assertive. He's a willingness to go into foreign areas up the pitch to defend as well at the right times has been good. But clearing out of his box, he's been brilliant. And Bumo has been a joke as well. I think he's really kind of stepped in there and become a real mainstay and someone that can give us 2 or 3 seconds on the ball, relieve pressure for us, scoring important goals, creating chances. I think he's. I saw Thomas Frank's comments about him yesterday about nearing a complete winger. I think by the end of this season, he'll be in that frame to be one of the most complete wingers in the league, I would say, because I think he can do everything. Just needs to consistently continue doing that in a red shirt. And the goalkeeper. Can't talk about anyone being our most important player without saying a goal. There's no coincidence that our upturning form, we've got a goalkeeper that it seems like all of the players trust.
I thought when he was on the bench for so long, I thought, oh, what has the manager seen in training that we haven't? But I have to be honest with you, really, really assertive. I want to move it on to Arsenal versus Sunderland. Apparently, Rio and Steve, Sunderland moved the advertising boards closer to negate the long throws of Arsenal. Rio, how much do you rate that move?
I'm absolutely buzzing with it. Steve, you?
I've never been more here for it. I told you Sunderland was a problem, man. Sunderland was a problem for people. I had them staying up. This was the year that all 3 that came up were not going straight back down again. And the reason was because Sunderland were always going to be hard to beat. And Xhaka might be one of the signings of the summer because he's not just added a bit of steel to them. Isn't he like 3 or 4 assists deep or something as well this year? Like he's on fire, man. He's doing bits.
Yeah.
They can't believe they've got him, I'm telling you. I know that all their fans must be sitting there going, how have we got Granit Xhaka here? How have we got him up here? Like, one, the weather's terrible. It's grim up there, right? They're a team that was one of the favourites to go down, and he's just a footballer that knows the game. He is like that coach's player on the pitch. He's the one that the coach knows that everything he talks and thinks about goes through that player. He's one of those guys, and really good guy as well. And I think it's Arsenal. I think all their fans were going crazy, and the fans that make you think, oh, what's going on with Arsenal? You could see the reaction so negative. Sometimes a result away from home, even if it is one of the teams that people are saying could go down, it's a good result.
I agree.
It's a decent result. Do you know what I mean? You can't turn your nose up sometimes, and you're not getting beat. That's the point. It's the same thing I was saying about United, and I see a lot of United fans throwing their toys out the pram about the result of the weekend. Listen, we're on a momentum building, confidence building run at the minute. You've got to cling on to the fact we've not got beat. This is Spurs, by the way. They've done all right. Like the new manager, they're not flying, but they're Spurs away is not an easy game.
It's true. And you know what, like, Rio, 100% spot on. All I could think of after that Arsenal-Sunderland game, or Sunderland-Arsenal game, I should say, is good point gained. And what you said when you sometimes had those results with Roy Keane, or you heard Roy Keane say in your changing rooms, we have to accept Sunderland are unbeaten at home this season. They're not a joke. You know, it doesn't matter whether you know a lot of their players or not. Right now, they are being coached to a T, and you have to take it, man. You have to take it.
Steve, why are you smiling?
No reason.
No, go on, Steve. Say what you think. Go on, please.
Because it was only Sunderland when United beat them.
Oh, Steve,
I didn't say
keep
that.
talking, Steve. Keep talking.
I'm just saying, it was only
Get the
Sunderland.
receipts.
Don't get gassed. You've only beat Sunderland.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, 2-0. Comfortable. Made
Stadium,
them
right.
change
It's a
their
difficult
way
place
of
to go
playing.
to, man.
They had to throw an extra defender on because they were struggling to cope with Manchester United.
It's true.
No, it's true.
But it's like I was said about Man United last week, and I'll say it again this week for Arsenal. Who are the people in that change room are saying, guys, good point. Points dropped, disappointed. We expect to come here and win, but listen, we'll take that. We'll bounce back down the road, bounce back into the international period. We're sweet, we're cool with that.
Do you know why that's happening, Rio?
Why?
Because they know.
Nah.
They know what?
They know.
Know what?
They know what?
What do we know?
Champagne's going back in that fridge, mate. That's what they know. They know.
I think any people that were popping their champagne or getting it ready, like getting it chilled out, has put that straight back in the cabinet and said, listen, I'm going to have to calm it down a little
City
bit.
not even been good, and they're right on their heels. And if anyone knows how to win a title in this league, it's them lot down the road.
You lot are just nasty. I'm telling you, I can see the glimmer in both.
No,
of your
but we don't
faces.
even want them to win. I don't even want them to win.
I don't know.
So let's reiterate again. If Arsenal or City are going for a title, I want Arsenal to win. Trust me, right? But it's made it really hard to believe in you guys in the last few years because you just haven't been able to get it done.
What happens if you bottle it again?
You know, if we do, then we really got to start asking some serious questions because for 4 years on the bounce is, in my opinion,
Spent
it's
$1 billion.
not acceptable.
That's £100 million
$1 billion,
player in every position with the money you spent.
And I'll tell you what, Steve, I don't like this notion of, look, Gyökeres didn't play. I'm not jumping on this negativity train, but we're here to win the title, right? I don't like this theory as well as, Gyökeres is here to score in the smaller games. No, imagine you sign Ruud van Nistelrooy or City sign Haaland, and that was the premises. It's not about that, man. We're going to need all our players firing because, like you're saying, Steve, City are on our heels, man. But it's only November. You don't win the league in November. There's an international break, and we've got a big squad.
But
Rio,
Joel, sorry, just on that. My point about Gyökeres scoring against the weaker teams it wasn't that that's all he's good at. It was that it's important to do that. You guys tripped up, like again this week, if you're going to put it like that, have tripped up against a team that people expect you to win. Mm-hmm. So you need a player like that. If he's going to be a bully of the average teams, great. A great asset to your squad. I'm just saying it's been the trend in this league for all the best strikers score more goals against their worst teams. It's natural.
No, you're right. I think when you put it in that context, I'll be honest with you, it does make sense. But I just don't want that to be an excuse, if that makes sense, because it's already been 3 years, bruv. Like, if you're coming in to score and win in every single game possible. I don't want to hear any of that.
The problem you got, Joe, is that you're playing against City. That's the problem. That's what Steve's saying. It's not like you're playing against City, who have been here. They know what they're doing. Let's even talk about City now. They've played against Liverpool, and I think it's a really important thing. To win the league, you've got to set down markers in the season. City have had Liverpool come to their back garden and said, listen, we're going to slap you up and pull your pants down and send you packing back up the motorway to where you're from, because you ain't coming here and trying to give it anything. We're going to put you under it, and we've prepared tactically. Can you respond? You've had a massive game in the week. Can you do bang two of them out in a week? The answer was no.
Jeremy Doku, that's got to be one of the best winger performances I have ever seen, Rio. Like, we need to speak about how he's improved his game this season. And I also want to ask, is he world class?
First of all, he's not world class yet. I think he has everything to be world class. He just hasn't been in enough of those big games and to be able to be considered, I don't think, yet. Has he got world class potential? Absolutely. And I don't think it's going to be long before we can be talking about that at all, because if he continues on this trajectory, he's going to be there or thereabouts. What I would say is that Doku has absolutely world-class talent profile. He's got assets that are superhuman, superpower assets. Pace, strength, merging those two together with balance, an ability to understand when 1v1s can be pulled on, and he can pull them into an area and then go, right, this is me against you. He's got a confidence and a want to engage the 1v1 in today's game. He likes to kick and run, right? These are all traits that just mean this is, for the position he's playing, it's world-class traits. Yeah. What separates the good players from the world-class ones, or the very good players from the world-class ones, is decision-making and final delivery. Your final ball and your delivery and your decision making in the final third and then consistency of all of that. Added to the profile that I mentioned earlier, it gets all that together, mate. We're talking about, we don't know what you're talking about, but there's two players that he reminds me of. There's similarities. There's differences, but there's similarities. One of them, Sterling, when he left Liverpool and went to City. You could see there was that raw potential, pace, trickery, bravery, that raw pace and power together, mixed and blended together. Could he bring it all together with that end product and decision making? He eventually started doing that and scoring, assisting goals, winning trophies, and he was on a wave he had a crazy run. One of England's best player at a tournament, a lot. And another one he reminds me of in many ways is Nani. Nani was a frustrating player. In many ways, I think, up to this point, in the last few weeks especially, that Doku's probably been for some of his teammates. Because you see and you can smell what he possesses, and your frustration is that he's not delivering it on a consistent basis. And you're sitting there going, oh my God. But what I see with Pep is he's sitting there going, licking his lips at what he's got and the potential he's seeing, and saying, if this comes together, we could go on another winning run around someone like him because he's a threat and he's scary. He's one player I don't want to be around. There's certain players that you go, don't bring him into my area. I'm delighted he's a winger and stay out wide. Keep him out wide. Don't come in. You saw when he came in the box with Konate, all at sea. Like he's a centre half nightmare because he's too small, too powerful and small and quick, all at the same time, and wants the 1v1. Nah, and can kick and run. No, I don't want that. Do not want that.
So Rio, why is it that he was able to give Conor Bradley a torrid time, whereas Conor Bradley did really good against Vinny Jr. Earlier last week? What's the difference?
Conor Bradley done well against Vinicius Jr., but also I think sometimes it's a player can help you. And I think Vinicius Jr.'s decision-making in that game in terms of when he's seen a 1v1, I saw him recycling the ball at times. When there's 1 versus 3, I saw Thierry Henry talking about it, 1v2 or 3, he's looking to go past people and there's too many people there. I think his decision-making in that game, as well as Conor Bradley done, played into Conor Bradley's hands. Where this week, you had 2 or 3 number 10s in the City team at times, in that hanging around that position, thickening up the midfield, Liverpool having to go on man-to-man that. And then it was on 1v1 season out wide. 1v1 out there. You can't. I don't know a defender on the planet, maybe right now, other than probably Jed Spence, who's actually confident enough to try and go 1v1 with Doku and actually might have a good positive outcome. Because he's just like, he's relentless with it. He was in the 50th minute of the first half. A 1v1 situation came about. Normally, players just going to run that in the corner, just chill out, recycle it a little. My man said, nah, burners on, let's go. 1v1, I'll have it with you. I've got a corner. Like mental. A defender's nightmare.
On the Nani comparison, and the decision-making comparison to get him to that next level to be world-class, what was you seeing that Nani was or wasn't able to do that Doku either can or can't do?
The point I made about Nani being a comparison is that you can see world-class traits in him. You can see his ability that you go, this can't not be world-class. And a frustration for a teammate is that I can see it there. Where the hell is it every week then?
Yeah,
that
was
inconsistency
for a fan.
Yeah, it was frustrating for everyone who played with him, his fans, etc., because you can see it and you saw so many glimpses, right? But there wasn't a consistent package enough at the time, especially in his early time. I think when he got towards the end of his career at Man Utd, you were seeing it more consistently. And I think I saw Gary Neville speak about this the other day as well. I think he was bang on about it. The problem with Nani that he had as well is that he was being judged against Cristiano Ronaldo and Ryan Giggs, like 2 of the best wingers you're ever going to see in the Premier League. Like, and then he comes in and you're expecting that clear idea of what a winger should be producing, the consistency of crosses that Giggsy would get, the dribbles and the outcomes and the positive outcomes that a Cristiano would get, or shots on target after a dribble. Like Nani's doing 1 in 3 or 4 on target, like from out of a dribble. He's taking someone on, taking the mick because he's an entertainer. He was actually one of the biggest P takers about at that time, running around doing keepy-uppies against Arsenal at Old Trafford that time. Couldn't get near him. Like he was and you're sitting there sometimes as a teammate going, oh well, I want to see him put up before we do that. So Nani was probably hindered by the fact that the teammates he had around him were that good and their standard was that high. But with someone like that, you've got to be on him. And I'm sure whoever it is in that change room, on that staff, they're on him. I'm sure Pep is on him all the time about end product. The decision making is when to create the 1v1, when to go past somebody, when to dribble, how long to stay on the ball at the right times. When is it a give and go? Do you know what I mean? When do you take your foot off the gas and just like slow it down? And I think a big thing I saw Gareth Bale and Thierry talking about it the other day is changing the momentum of your approach to a player. Slowing it down at times, slowing the defender's feet down, and then quickening it up because you've got quicker fibres and you're quicker than the defender. If you slow him down, or if you just change the pace on a regular basis, he's never going to know when you're going to go. It's the ones that always go 100 miles an hour that are easier to defend because you know they're going to come at 100 miles an hour. You're prepared for that.
Pep said after the game, they said, they were praising Doku and he said, hey, sometimes you overestimate what the coaches and that do. They said that sometimes it's also down to the player. Saying that, I want to ask, when you look at someone like Grealish, did he end up having to play the game by numbers because he didn't have the trust of Pep to deliver in a way that Doku is doing right now, Rio?
I think it's different profile of player. And what Pep's going to ask of Grealish, Doku's probably not going to be as capable of doing that, and the same way the other way. Grealish is more of a dribbler. He's more of a slow you down and burst. He's more of a drag players towards him, create a 2v1 against him, and then someone's going to be free and he'll find that spare man. Doku, again, all you're trying to do, which they've done so many times yesterday, you're trying to get Doku 1v1. That's all you want to do. Get the team over one side of the pitch, and then as soon as you've got a chance to get it out the other side, he's 1v1 in space with a lot of green grass about. Absolute nightmare for the opposition. But even in this season, you've seen him go central at times. He's got a bit of freedom because in them areas as well, central areas, it'll be an absolute nightmare for a centre midfielder. They don't see players like him in and around that area a lot. And if you can put him in there every now and again as a surprise package, he's going to cause damage.
In the middle of the pitch?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, you've got the touchline is another defender, right? So when you're wide, you can always try and force someone wide because they can't go beyond the touchline, can they? When you've got someone like Doku central in the pitch, force him which way?
Where's he going?
Where are you forcing him?
Yeah.
You press him, he's going past you. You leave him, he's going past you. It's a problem. And I think going back to the question you just asked, Grealish just didn't fit City. The style of dribbler he is and the style of dribbler that Doku is, you put a Doku in the mix, it's a hand grenade in a small room. Like, it's an absolute nightmare, and it changes the energy of a game. And I think that's the fundamental difference of them as players, is that Doku's getting at you in an aggressive kind of way that he's going to make you make something happen. Whereas Grealish, I think, is a little bit more passive with his dribbling. He's going to see where things can go. And I think he almost kind of tried to change his own game a little bit to fit in with City, whereas Doku's gone, this is who I am.
Doku says to you, he looks you in the eye and says, can you defend against me every time I get the ball? Because I'm going to ask you that question every time I have it. I'm going to build up lactic acid in your legs that you've never had before. You're going to have to get down low and stay with me for 90 minutes. Can you do it? That's like the old school stuff used to be. Me and you, 1v1, let's have it. That's what he's creating now every time he gets the ball. And then, like we say, he's popping up in the midfield areas. Grealish, I look at Pep's best teams. Has Pep ever had a winger who wasn't like a greyhound? From Sane to Sterling, Pedro, like pace of players who can beat you for pace, if not guile. But Grealish was just a different one for him. And listen, they won the trebles too. As much as anyone can say what they want, he still won the treble. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like they were playing a man down. Just wasn't the Grealish that we'd seen at Aston Villa. That's it. But Doku, absolute nightmare, beast physically, and he's relentless in his approach to wanting to dismantle the fullback. That's what reminds me of Nani. Nani wanted to embarrass the fullback. I think that's what he's got a lot of. Doku wants to embarrass the fullback. He wants you to come off and know that you need to ask for my shirt next time you see me. That's the vibe he's coming with.
What would Sir Alex Ferguson or your plan be if you were coming up against Doku centrally?
You can't allow space to turn, can you? I mean, that's where I'm, and it can't always be perfect and work, but a lot of the time I'll be shouting Carrick or Scholes or whoever's in midfield, Hargreaves, left and right. So if he drifts into that area, forget about Doku. Just stop the ball at source. Stop the ball getting to him. But if the ball gets to him, he's hard work. So if the ball gets to him, you've got to get to him quick so he can't get up to pace. But the main thing I used to always think is stop the pass into him. So move pieces in front of you to stop him getting the ball. Or I'm going to go out there. If there's not a number 9 or the number 9's out wide or not occupying the centre half, I'm not leaving Vida too many times if I can 1v1 there. But if I have to, I'll go in there with the confidence that if it does go in there, Nemanja Vidic can deal with the stuff behind. Do you know what I mean? And that's the conundrum that City give you. Are the defenders capable now going 1v1 against Haaland with big spaces around them if he's going to be 1v1 and the other centre-half's gone into midfield for Doku? Yeah. Not many are going to be about one in that fight. So these are the problems that City are now starting to throw at people, especially if Doku becomes consistent in his output and his decision-making. They have another absolute threat, which we're all thinking and talking about Haaland just being that guy. This weekend has shown us, yes, there was huge potential there, but he actually might be the one this season that takes him to another level.
Cancel that open top bus, Joel.
What are you talking about? It's November, bro.
Steve is mad.
Yeah,
It's November.
Just to get your deposit back. Don't worry about it.
It's November. I was going to say, though, Rio, we've waxed lyrical about Doku. We've obviously spoken about Haaland every week. I've got to put my hands up. That was, in my opinion, one of Phil Foden's best performances as well. It went under the radar because Doku was so good. But the balls he was spraying, like, I thought to myself, oof.
People still questioning him about his quality and how good he is, man. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Baffles me, that one.
I don't know. I think it's because he's thrived. He's thrived via system. So we'll see what he does for England. Stay off to you.
Yeah, I'd just like to put it out there, please, because the amount of wibble that I have seen this morning, even Rooney saying that the goal should have stood. No, it shouldn't. It was a perfectly correct decision. People have been proper cherry picking the wording and the keeper line of sight and interference with play. There is about 5 paragraphs in Law 11, and one of them is proximity and impact.
I agree.
There you go.
Listen, I have to say, it's been interesting. We have to watch out for Chelsea, by the way. Only 6 points behind Arsenal. They're going about their business quietly. Not very consistent, in my opinion, but Esteval really showing what he's worth, really. That guy, I don't think he's got the Neymar skills, but watch out. He's doing his thing. Rio, any big interviews coming out? You've been teasing us all week.
Yeah, man. I was in Saudi the other day. I went to watch Al Nassr playing Cristiano and co. They actually got beat by Benzema's team actually in the cup. But I actually stayed around and I stayed over and went to Sadio Mane's, man. I went to his house, man. He showed me around. We had a nice time, lovely to go in there into his new house. He's showed me around. He has got a man cave to battle any man cave. Unreal downstairs. Place you'd stay there all day, every week. Phenomenal. But he's it was nice to get to chat to him, man, about loads of stuff, about his relationships with Klopp, with his teammates, Salah, Firmino, etc. So and how's it going with him in Saudi? So yeah, it's really interesting, really, really nice guy, man, and loads about what he's doing as well back home in Senegal. So watch this space of Real meets with Sadio Mane.
That's going to be massive because he's a big deal worldwide and even in his homeland. And I'm really intrigued to see what he says about his teammates, especially that relationship with Salah. Hopefully you didn't let me down, Rio, and you went in for the juggernaut.
Yeah, man. We asked the right questions.
Oh, humble Rio. That means we got something. All right, guys, I want to say thank you very much for watching Rio Ferdinand Presents again. Please keep on watching. The socials are blowing up. We want to get those numbers high and up. Rio, you got to make sure you're still messaging in the community group as well, by the way. We want to.
Yeah. I dropped a message the other day. You wanted some voice notes and stuff, and I'll be in there this week. Don't worry.
Make sure. And if you don't know, make sure you follow us on socials. Stephen Howson is officially the new Mikel Arteta, scoring set pieces with his team. If you guys
I think he's more Allardyce. I think he's more Allardyce.
Yeah.
Mate, you need to come and actually watch a game and see the absolute clinic that we put on. It was only what we deserved. It just took a set piece, but we boxed them up and down the pitch. My striker, this is what needs to happen. Can you give us some advice here, Rio, right? Because my striker, when he was single, 10 in 10. He's got loved up, he's got a bird, barn door territory talking now. He must have had 10 shots at weekend.
He must have, his legs must be weary. That's what the problem is. He's got weary legs.
Need to fix up.
Weary legs. Right. You need to go and sign Papa Cisse, by the way. He scored 6 at the weekend for Wythenshawe Vets team.
Bro,
you should go and get him.
I've heard a rumour that they've got a serious player. So that's Wythenshawe Amis that have basically the Harlem Globetrotters of the non-league Cheshire League Vets, right? Heskey's turned out for him. Stephen Ireland's turning out for him. I think
drink water.
Oh, mate, there's some serious footballers playing for him. Omar Niasse is playing for him.
If you go online and look at Papa Cisse's finishes, he dinks the keeper twice in 2 out of his 6 goals. Ridiculous.
You don't need this. Playing basically Saturday League Vets, and you turn up and there's like 1,000 Premier League appearances on the other side of the pitch, and they're parceling teams up as well. They're not messing about.
Wait. Imagine turning up there as a Sunday League player, right, against this team with full of ex-Premier League players, right? And you're about like a tequila bottle deep from the night before, right? You've had about 20 packs of crisps in your munchie stage last night before you fell asleep, and you've had 2 hours get up. You've had probably 10 fags by the time you get there, and a Lucozade, right? And you turn up and you see these lunatics walking out Premier League, about 300, 400 appearances between them. Oh,
I'm motivated, if you ask me, if I'm honest. But yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you again for watching.
Do you know who they're signing? Do you know who the next one is that they've got?
no.
Watch this space.
Is it Ravel Morrison?
No,
No.
He's got a club at the end, I think. No,
He's in Dubai.
Oh, is he? Okay.
no. I'll text you because it's not my news to break. But oh my days, oh my days,
Wow.
they're going to have more people watching their vets team than the first team.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Interesting.
Balotelli.
Ooh. Is it Balotelli?
I'm not saying it is.
I don't know who it is. I just said
okay.
Balotelli, like
Guessing.
Oxlade-Chamberlain.
He's free as well, isn't he?
He's available, yeah.
You never know. Guys, thanks for joining again. Stephen Howson, Rio Ferdinand, Joel Beya, signing out. Rio Ferdinand presents. Peace.